Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy, fantastic Friday. So, you guys, I have to be very honest with you. I was not going to do this video today because I feel like crap on top of crap, okay? We're family, so I can tell you that. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. And I took some quercetin. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, I love quercetin, especially quercetin HB. I think it's either HB or HP, one of them. Oh, I think it's HP. So if you or someone you know has high blood pressure issues, get the quercetin HP. Now, I don't have high blood pressure issues, but I purchased it so that if my mom or my dad wanted to use it, they could, and it's not going to affect their blood pressure. So make sure you get that. But yeah, I feel like I am coming down with a cold. My throat was bothering me yesterday. And when you have to walk around making that noise, yeah, I found myself doing that quite a bit yesterday and today to scratch inside the throat. And so I'm going to apologize in advance if my nose starts to run. I don't have any tissue. Didn't dawn on me to grab some when I came out the house. So if I do, that's why. I can't blame it on my sinuses this time because that's not the issue. And if you hear my fan blowing, it's because I have my heat on because it's 56 degrees, but it's a slight chill in the air. And it was freezing this morning, to me anyway. But other than that, today has been a great day. I hope it's been a great day for you as well on this fantastic Friday. I don't know about you all, but I have very little planned for the weekend, and that's exactly the way I want to keep it, okay? Yes, that's exactly how I want to keep it. But I will say this before I jump into this video. I will tell you this. We had a Circle of Champions private circle class on last night. And when I tell you all, that class really had my mind. I mean, ideas were just popping. You hear what I'm saying? And so last night was supposed to be our last class for the year. However, it was so good that on next Thursday at 7:30, Bob is going to hold a quantum leap. And we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about that on Monday because I want you all to come. And then I'll share information again on Wednesday. So once I get all the information, I will share it with you all because you all are invited to tune in. It's going to be via Zoom, so you don't have to worry about leaving your house. Get you a nice hot beverage and cut on your laptops, your computers, your phones, whatever you choose to use, and just be prepared to be amazed. Because I don't know about you all, but these next couple of weeks are going to be very, very big for me because I am now in planning mode for the first quarter of 2024. Okay, so and as a matter of fact, I said the first quarter, but as I said that out loud, I'm thinking the first 6 months of 2024 as it relates to my business. And I want you all to be doing the same. Even if you don't have a business, it's okay. I want you to really start thinking about how you see the first quarter and the first half of 2024 going for you. For whatever it is that you're trying to do, be it school, work, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I still want you to do the same thing because what we will not do is go into a new year with the same old habits from this year, okay? And we'll talk more about that. And actually, I'll be talking about that during my 12 Days of Christmas series, which, by the way, will be via podcast again. You all know if you've been with me for a while and you check out my playlist, I used to do it here on YouTube, but now I moved that to my podcast platform. So make sure you check that out as well. So I'm trying to tell you, I have a lot of work to get done because 12 Days of Christmas will be starting next week. Okay, so I have a lot to do. Now let's jump into today's topic, which is how to get back up when life knocks you down. How to get back up when life knocks you down. I thought about it and I said, you know what? It's been a long time since I talked about that. And so I won't be sharing, the overall theme, overall arching theme. I love to air quote and I love to say arching theme. I know that's crazy, but I do. is still the same, but I just have 3 basic principles I want to give you to get back up when life knocks you down. Because the reality is, if you live long enough, or I should say, not even that, keep living. If life has not knocked you down already, keep living, because it will. Now, I know what somebody's thinking, but Michelle, why are you wishing bad on us? No. Let's be clear. I'm not wishing bad on anybody, because I wish nothing but good for each and every one of you. Everybody under the sound of my voice, I wish nothing but great things. I want God's blessings and his mercies to rain down upon you like never before in this new year. But the reality is that we do get knocked down from time to time. But the question is, are you going to stay down, or are you going to get back up, excuse me, y'all, and keep going? The choice is yours. It really is. Whatever you choose to do, I'm happy with and I'll support. But as for me, I've had life knock me down a time or two, but I'm going to tell you something. That Aries in me says, Michelle, you cannot, you will not stay down. Okay, life happened. Get up, brush yourself off, and keep going. You don't have time to sit down. There's so much that God has put in you that he needs you to do. And I always tell people, whatever God has given you, he gave it to you because he knew that you could do it. Now, can somebody else do the same thing? Yeah, they could, but they're not going to do it the way you're going to do it. And so I don't have time to let life knock me down. I go through my ins and outs. Yeah, I'm pissed, I'm upset, and all that other good stuff. And then I say, all right, well, guess what? It is what it is. Let's focus on moving forward. Okay? It is what it is. So, Vince Lombardi once said, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up. Because life is, or will knock all of us down at some point in time. And here's the thing. There's no set number of times that life can knock you down. It just isn't. That would be nice if you knew that life could only knock you down 3 times. But the reality is there is no set number of time. Life can knock you down over and over and over again. But you have to have the mindset to keep getting back up. So when life knocks you down, you feel lost, forgotten about, stuck, left doubting yourself, and overwhelmed. The key is you have the control over whether or not you will stay down or get back up and keep moving. I need you to really hear what I just said. When life knocks you down, you have control over whether or not you stay down or you get up and you keep pushing forward. So here are 3, only 3, that's all I have for you today, mind shift steps that you need to take to get back up. Number 1, hold yourself accountable. I'm going to say that again because somebody just looked to their left or to their right when I said that. But I need you, I'm talking to you, to hold yourself accountable. See, when life knocks you on your rear end, yes, I said it, it's easy to blame everybody for the part they played in your demise. Have you ever noticed that we do that? But it's hard for you to see the role that you played in it. When life knocks us down, we say, well, you know, my supervisor didn't believe in me. My supervisor didn't stand up for me. They were just against me. They don't want to see me succeed. The list can go on and on and on. But do you take accountability for the part that you played in it? It's easy to talk about what others didn't do to help you get ahead, but you don't stop to think about the fact that you have the power, and you've always had the power to get ahead and change your life. Let me put a pin right there. We like to talk about how somebody didn't put our name in for a promotion. Somebody didn't recommend us for the new job. Somebody didn't give us the opportunity that we needed to showcase our skills. And while all of that very well may be true, take accountability. Did you raise your hand and say, hey, I'm interested in that new promotion? Hey, I'm interested in getting that supervisory position. hey, I'm interested in an opportunity to work on that project. Did you take accountability for the fact that you didn't speak up for yourself? Stop sitting back waiting for other people to speak up for you. Start speaking up for yourself. See, because Michelle's not going to let you speak up for her. I'm going to speak up for me. I mean, if you speak up for me, that's great. But trust and believe, I'm going to open my big mouth and speak up for myself. Because I'm not going to leave my growth, my potential solely in your hands. Because you will forget about me. You have a busy life. You got so many other things going on. I'm going to speak up for myself. Trust and believe that. So when you hold yourself accountable, you will become the most empowered person you know. I'm going to say that one more time. When you hold yourself accountable, you will become the most empowered person that you know. And I need you all to hear me and believe that. You will become fully and completely in control of your life. Now, ultimately, God is in control of our lives. But here on earth, you will become fully in control of your life when you take accountability for yourself. So the reality is we are all in danger of blaming others because it's easy to do it, and it takes the focus off of the fact that we haven't been taking responsibility for ourselves. Have you ever noticed that? That's why it's so easy to point the finger at what they did and they did and they did. But always remember that when you're pointing that finger at other people, this thumb right here is pointing back at you. So that means you played a part in it as well. So while you're pointing at other people, remember that thumb is pointing back at you. Or, no, it's not the thumb. I'm sorry. When you're pointing your finger at others about what they didn't do, you've got these three fingers right here. See how they're pointing back at you? Take accountability. Number 2, move your focus. Too often we focus more on the obstacles in every situation instead of opportunities that lay before us. So in other words, we focus more on what had happened instead of what could happen. I'm going to say that one more time. We focus more on what happened and less on what can happen. Okay, what happened. That's fine. We're over that. Let's start to focus on what can happen going forward. So once you figure this out, everything will change for you in an instant. And when I say that, trust and believe that I've been down that road, so I know this to be true and factual. I'm not speaking at the top of my Nike hat. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm not telling you what I read about. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. When you take accountability, when you stop focusing on what happened and what can now happen for you, your life will change in an instant. Because guess what? Now, you know where your focus goes, that's where you go, correct? So your life has no other choice but to change. Keep in mind, what you focus on is what you move towards. So if you focus on a big and brighter future, that's where you're going. But if you keep focusing on what has happened behind you, that's where you're going to stay, because that's where your focus is. So by changing your focus and looking forward, you will begin to see your next steps, just as you see the sunlight bursting through the clouds on a cloudy day. Number 3, last but not least, change how you speak to yourself. If you take the time to stop and listen to your inner voice, listen carefully now, you will realize you are the one dragging you down. Let's put a pin right here, because too often we talk about, what everybody else is doing, but you don't stop and think about what you do every time you talk bad about yourself. One thing's for certain, two things for sure. I'm not talking bad about myself. Now, you may hear me say, Lord, I'm trying to squeeze my big butt past something, because every now and then, the Lord then blessed me real good. And so every now and then I walk past things, and this behind will drag stuff with me. So I can say that about myself, because it's true. That's not being negative. That's just being real. I can't sit here and say to you, now I may tell you that I'm skinny, but Lord knows I'm not. I got hips and tail for days, and that's all right. I'm okay with that. But other than that, I will not sit and talk bad about myself. I will not sit and say, I'll never get to this level. I'll never have this. I'll never have that. I'll never have the other, because I believe that I can have it. I believe that I can have anything that I work hard for, anything that I pray about, and anything that God sees fit to give me. Okay? Always believe that. Excuse me, y'all. Dang, I should have brought some tissue. When life knocks us down, oftentimes we choose to beat ourselves up with a bunch of negative talk, and that has to stop, you guys. It has to stop now. Not in the new year. It needs to stop now. Just like we choose where to place our focus, we must also choose the language that we use. We have full control over what we say and think about ourselves. Let me put a period right there. You know, I know a lot of times in life, you may not feel like you have the power to do many things, but in this instance, you have the power over what you choose to say and or think about yourself. And I don't think people really think about that thoroughly. You have, the Bible even tells us that we have what we say, right? So that's why I'm always speaking life into Michelle. I'm always speaking positive things in my life, because I know that I have what I say. And I just need you all to truly understand that. You have been telling yourself that same old negative story for so long that you have begun to believe it. And if anybody says otherwise, you start to think they're losing their minds. You've been telling yourself that you're not good enough and you'll never amount to anything, because that's what you heard growing up. And parents, y'all stop that. I do not, and if you know me, then you know I don't like to say I don't care. But in this case, I don't like it. I don't like to say I hate things, because hate is such a strong word. But in this case, I hate it when I hear people say to their kids, you ain't gonna never be nothing because your daddy wasn't nothing. Stop saying that. Because you are putting that into that child's head, and they're hearing this over and over and over again. What do you think they're going to start to think about themselves? Well, my mama said I ain't gonna never be nothing because my daddy wasn't nothing, so therefore I'm not striving to be much in life, because you've already set the path for them. Stop doing that. Stop it. I absolutely hate it to the core of my being. And you don't hear it as much, but at one time you would hear that all the time. But I know people still say that. So it doesn't matter if Jacob's father, whoever Jacob is, it doesn't matter if his father, Big Jacob, wasn't nothing. Stop telling little Jacob he's not going to be anything. Because you need to make sure that little Jacob does something with his life and doesn't end up being like his father was or is. Stop telling people that. Whew, y'all, that just gets my blood pressure up. Stop telling yourself the same old negative stories. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. You aren't good enough. You aren't pretty or handsome enough. You aren't smart enough. You will never amount to anything. You aren't worthy enough, etc., etc., etc. Because the list can go on and on. We just don't have enough time to unpack all of that. But you've told yourself these stories for too long. And now it's time to stop the negative self-talk. Like I said, I need you to really, truly stop the negative self-talk. Because here's the thing. I'm going to tell you why you do it. I'm going to tell you why you do it. You give yourself that negative self-pep talk because you're preparing yourself for if it doesn't work out. You say to yourself, well, you know what, Michelle, you probably won't get it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and apply, but you probably won't get it anyway. And you do that so if you're not selected for whatever that thing is, you don't feel disheartened. You don't feel broken. You don't feel let down. You don't feel any of those negative things because you've already set the scene for preparing yourself for when you don't get it. So if in case you don't, then you're like, okay, well, I already knew it anyway, so it's all good. Tell yourself when you apply for that job, you tell yourself, claim it. You say, Lord, I'm claiming this job in the name of Jesus. Lord, if this job is for me, then let it be. But if it's not, Lord, Don't let me get that job if this is not, you know something, because obviously God knows something that you don't know. So if that's not the job for me, Lord, don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. I remember years ago, I worked for the Forest Service, and I applied for this job, and I thought I wanted that job so bad. Oh, and it was a promotion. I didn't get the job. They gave it to somebody else. But honey, I was so thankful that I didn't get that job, because that person was miserable. Now, I wasn't happy that they were miserable, because I don't like to see people miserable, but I was thankful that God said, Michelle, that's not the job for you. I'm not going to set you up like that. Because I always pray and I say, Lord, if this be for me, then let it be. But if it's not, don't give it to me. I do that with people. I do that with places. I do that with things. If it's not for me, Lord, then don't give it to me, because I don't need the heartache, the headache. I don't need any of that. But if it's for me, Jesus, then let me have it. Open the door for me. And that's how I want you to live your life as well. So that way you can stop all that negative self-talk. Like I said, you do it because you want to prepare yourself for, if you don't get it, then you don't feel let down, because you already told yourself you weren't going to get it anyway. So y'all stop doing that. So here's your takeaway. When we take responsibility for our lives, shift our focus, and change the way we talk to ourselves, we take back control of our outcomes. And this is an ongoing process, you guys. I'm gonna say that too. It's an ongoing process. It's not something you're gonna get right overnight. You just aren't. It's an ongoing process, and you have to be mindful. So whenever that negativity starts welling up in your mind, take a deep breath, let it out, and say, not today, Satan. Not today. We're not going down that road. Take back control. Too many of you have given control over to the devil. Now, whether you believe in Satan or not, that's your business, and we don't have time to get into that today. But I believe that the devil is real, and I believe that the devil doesn't want to see you all succeed. And the devil comes in many shapes and in all shapes, forms, sizes, and colors. Let's just keep it real. And he or she, however you want to label them, they don't want to see you succeed. But you have to tell yourself, I am going to succeed. That's why I tell myself, when I write in my journal, I tell myself, well, I've listed things that I want to accomplish. And you all know I do a monthly accomplishment log. But I do by quarter, I do monthly, I do quarterly, and then I have a layout for the whole year in my journal. And I tell myself that I'm going to succeed. I'm going to win. I refuse to settle for second best. I just refuse to. One of the things that I truly want to do in this new year is I want to get on other people's stages, motivating people. See, I love motivating people via YouTube. I love it. Trust me when I tell you I do. But I want to get out there and do live speaking engagements on other people's stages. Now, I will be creating workshops of my own, so look out for those. But I also want to get on other people's stages to motivate people, because I believe that there are a ton of people that can benefit from hearing a word from me. I believe that I can bring forth a word that only I can bring. Now, can somebody else talk about the same topic? Of course they can, but they're not going to deliver it the way I can deliver it. You understand what I'm saying? So you've got to see yourself doing bigger and better things in this new year. And before I leave you, I want to say this, because it was just dropped into my spirit. Somebody under the sound of my voice, you're going to a job every day that you absolutely hate. You're going to a job every day that requires no real effort of you. You have skills. You have a ton of skills. I don't know what those skills are, but you have them. But you're settling. And what I want you to do, make a promise to me that as we move into 2024, you're going to stop settling. You're going to stop settling in your personal life, in your work life, in your relationships, and whatever other area of your life you need to change. I need you to stop settling, because God has called you to do so much more than what you're doing, but you're choosing to settle and stay in a job that doesn't challenge you, that's not going anywhere, because it's easy. And as we go into this new year, we're going to stop thinking easy, okay? Challenge yourself. One of the things that Bob asked us to do last night was to think of a dollar amount that we want to make in our business for next year. And he said, don't make it something that you can easily obtain. He said, I want you to think big. And so what I want you to do for me, this is your homework, is I want you to think big about something that you want to accomplish next year. And then I want you to start putting your plan together on how you're going to accomplish that goal and start working towards it. Because some of you had goals set for this year and you became complacent and you didn't even try. Or you tried and you failed in one area or two and you decided, heck with it, I'm not going to keep pushing forward. We're not going to have that same attitude in 2024. It's time to win. It is time to win, because too many of you are settling, and we need to stop doing that, okay? The best is yet to come, you guys. The best is yet to come, but I need you to work towards achieving the best, because it's in you. It is in you. I feel it. Most of y'all I don't even know, have never met, probably never will meet, and that's all right. But I can feel it in you. It is in you. So I want you to start working towards it. Now, having said that, I'm going to leave you be, because I need to go get me some tissue. And I got to call the mister to see if we're going to go out to eat tonight. I'm not sure what's on the agenda for the evening, but I will find out soon enough, because y'all know once this cold medicine kicks in, it's going to be a wrap. Michelle's going to be curled up underneath them covers, knocked out, okay? And I have a leadership meeting tomorrow. So we have a leadership meeting at church from 9 to noon. So I'm looking forward to that. That's for our ministry leaders, as well as those of us that serve on because as you all know, I am an ordained deacon. Yes, I said deacon. I didn't say deaconess. At my church, we do have female deacons. And if you say to yourself, well, deacons can't be women. Yes, they can. Excuse me. Yes, they can. Go look up Phoebe in the Bible and tell me what her title was. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. You can look that up on your own. But look up Phoebe in the Bible and tell me what her role was. So yes, we do have female deacons at Metropolitan Baptist Church. And so this leadership training is for our ministry leaders, which I am. I give leadership to our Another Chance ministry, which I'm going to be working on diligently between now and the end of the year, because I want to hit the ground really running with that program come January. And so I'm a ministry, and I co-lead our entrepreneur ministry. So I'm a ministry leader. I am a deacon. Like I said, I've been ordained since 2008. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. 2008. Since then, I've been a deacon. And our board of elders, which used to be called our deaconesses. So they're now called our board of elders. And yeah, so I am looking forward to that training. We'll be spending time with our new pastor to talk about his vision for the new year, for the church as a whole, and I guess, by ministry and what have you. So I'm looking forward to that. And so, yeah, that's it, you guys. I think I've covered everything. So if all hearts and minds are clear, I'm going to leave you be. If you're new to watch my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, y'all. Tap that bell so you don't miss anything, because it helps the algorithm out. Like this video. Like I said, it helps the algorithm out, and it gets my video out to more and more people. So for those of you that do that, thank you, thank you, thank you. I greatly appreciate you. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Whatever you do, wherever you go, I just ask that you do it safely and you be aware of your environment. Excuse me, go out there, enjoy yourself, but just be safe and have fun, okay? I love you all. Y'all know the drill, you know the spiel. I love you to the moon and back, and there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can ever do about it, because it's not going to change. I love you. I believe in you, and that's why I do what I do, to try and encourage you all every day, because I know that the best is there. I know that you can do it, but I need you to believe in yourself. Yo, I'm sorry, this man just walked by and spit all in my driveway. Anyway, as I was saying, I believe in you all. So go out there, be the best that you can possibly be, and don't let anything or anybody ever try to tell you that you can't do something, that you can't, and that you can't achieve anything, because you can and you will. I believe it for you. I just need you to believe it for you. Okay? Having said that, come back tomorrow where I have another motivational video for you. Love you all, and we'll talk again tomorrow.